Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips, which is brought to you by Wellness Forum Health, the Wellness Forum Institute, and Make Americans Free Again. Remember, we have two big things coming up in the next couple of weeks. One is how to care for and feed your brain, your skin, your mouth, your esophagus, your stomach. We're going to go from the brain to the toes and talk about how to maintain your body parts and keep them all until you die. That is September 8th and September 9th. There's a member, non-member price, and you can buy smoothie mix and use that to pay for that course. And then the Healthy Happy Boot Camp is coming up, and that's 6 weeks, and you're going to get 6 yoga classes, 6 workouts, 6 cooking classes with recipes, and 6 health lectures, all recorded so you can watch anytime in case you can't join live. And you can also buy smoothie for that as well. We call it smoothie swap. You buy smoothie ingredients and you can use that to pay for these various, some of the activities, including these two. So that's super cool. You eat a healthy breakfast, the one I start my day with, and you get to take fabulous courses that can change your life. And then remember, this Wednesday, tomorrow, autism lecture for all members. If you're a member, you can participate. If you will get an email from Kelly, or should have gotten it by now by the time you see this video, with the link. And if you don't have it, let us know before the lecture starts. You know, it's kind of easier to take care of it before the lecture starts, but it's 7:30 on Wednesday night, Eastern time. All right. And then some good news for those of you who are connected to our nonprofit. We just completed a matching funds campaign. A donor pledged 5,000. We matched it in just a couple of weeks, so we got 10 total. Very exciting to continue the good work of our foundation. All right, so I have one news item that we're going to spend time on today. Here's something that we should all be concerned about. According to a new study, 24% of all infants born in the United States have no detectable bifidobacterium in their microbiomes. This is important because bifidobacteria is one of the two master strains of bacteria that seed an infant's gut. The study included 412 infants from 48 states, and fecal samples, feeding and birth data, health status at 2 years was collected. And then several forms of analysis, testing for microbial composition, functional capacity, measuring 79 metabolites linked to immunity and development, longitudinal health surveys that looked at allergies, eczema, and asthma diagnoses in the subjects studied. So here are the results. 24% of infants had no detectable bifidobacterium, and this was even common among vaginally delivered breastfed infants. One immune supportive species, B. infantis, was detected in only 8% of all of the infants. And so I'll come back to at the end why I think this is happening. So don't worry about the reasons why, just listen to the data. By age 2, 30% of all of the infants in the study have been diagnosed with allergies, eczema, or asthma. The risk was 3 times higher for infants who had dysbiotic microbiomes, in other words, microbiomes that were abnormal for any reason. For C-section babies, breastfeeding often didn't result in the establishment of adequate colonies of bifidobacterium, and instead seemed to feed the pathogenic bacteria. And I'll come back to what to do about all of this too. So just hold tight while I give you the data. 100% of health professionals agree that breastfeeding is best, but in the case of babies with compromised microbiomes, oligosaccharides were consumed by opportunistic pathogens, increasing rather than decreasing inflammation. And this supports my recommendation to take probiotics to restore a damaged microbiome rather than diet change alone, which often doesn't lead to the desired income and instead sometimes leads to actually the pathogens learning how to use an alternative fuel source that they normally wouldn't be interested in, but for survival can sometimes genetically change themselves to live on a different type of food. The bacteria in your gut are real tiny, but they're also super, super smart, as it turns out. Infants with compromised microbiomes were more likely to have lower production of metabolites needed for immune tolerance and neurodevelopment. These infants had higher gut pH. And by the way, gut pH should be an acid. It's the gut bacteria, the beneficial guys, like a slightly acid environment, and so a higher gut pH is not a good thing. So just as a side note, when people tell me that they're going to try to alkalize their bodies, I tell them, I don't know who told you that, but I hope you're not successful because you're likely to kill yourself in the process. The body controls pH in different regions to different levels, okay? So now why is this happening and what should we do about it? Well, first, this is just another sign of our very sick society. I mean, for a very long time, each generation of Americans has experienced worsening health than the previous generation. And this is super important. I posted videos and referenced articles concerning the relationship between the preconception health of both the mother and father on infant health. So overweight, sick, medicated parents increase the risk of the baby being sick and compromised at birth. The medicalizing of pregnancy, I think, contributes a lot to this too. Women are poked and prodded and tested and drugged and vaccinated for the entirety of their pregnancy, which is treated as a disease condition rather than a condition that's associated with the development of a new human being. Refusing this treatment, much of which is harmful, is a whole lot easier said than done. Aggressive OB-GYNs range from strongly encouraging to intimidating and threatening if directions are not followed. Many of our long-term members know how to conduct research and evaluate the risks and benefits of medical care during pregnancy, but even they sometimes have difficulty with the constant battle associated with regular visits and agree to things they know are not safe or warranted just to keep the peace. And that's a very sad state of affairs, I agree. Birthing procedures also contribute. The US continues to lead the world in C-section births, which is not a goal we should be aspiring to. Vaginally born infants have better microbiomes than those who are born via C-section, and this affects both development and immune function. Last but not least, useless and harmful medical care begins at the hospital right after birth with vitamin K shots, a hepatitis B vaccine. And I guess we do that because promiscuity and needle sharing in the nursery was a problem for a long time. That's how you get hepatitis B. I mean, it's really ludicrous what we're doing. And then advice to start giving babies 400 international units of vitamin D, which is actually a hormone, daily in liquid form. This is followed by an average of 7 visits with a pediatrician during the first year of life, almost all of which involve the administration of vaccines, sometimes even when the baby is sick, which is not a good time to do that. Taking all of this into consideration, it's a wonder that babies survive. It's a testimony to the strength of the human body that a tiny human can endure all of this and still make it to maturity. The problem is that health tends to continue to decline due to poor diet and lack of exercise and sunshine, which is what leads to the weakening of human beings on the planet, particularly in westernized society, generation to generation to generation. We have to turn around this horrific trend. It's the only way things get better. And if we want to do it, it's up to us, and it starts with us. And so I think the first thing I'm asking everybody I come in contact with, start modeling good diet, exercise, behavior, etc. One of the first things we do with our members when they enroll in our Learn and Earn program so they can get lots of free courses is we have them sign a pledge card that they pledge to build a strong body and maintain it. We need to set an example for others, all of us collectively. I'm not talking about anybody in particular here. I'm talking about all of us in general. We make it known that we're a beacon for others who want to do this. So help us grow through food over medicine clubs and membership. My goal, my dream is to have 10,000 food over medicine clubs out there all over the country, blanketed with food over medicine clubs, teaching people how to appreciate good food and to learn the facts about good health and that sort of thing. And then growing membership to Wellness Forum. We establish a new normal through force of numbers, millions of people who eat well, exercise, and stay lean. And at the end of this, we get what we want, a healthcare system and a reimbursement program that works for healthy people. But we have to build the healthy population first. And the most important part of it is we. Nobody can do this by themselves. And there are no videos I'm going to produce that are going to make this all happen. We just have to build and grow and attract and create a movement. We just have to do that. It's the only way this changes for the better. So help me do that. Send people to Wellness Forum, start a food over medicine club, be the beacon in your community for things to be different. And together we can make a difference. So don't forget, Autism Workshop tomorrow night for all members. There's still time to join, by the way. And our basic membership is only $99. So you could join right now and take that class tomorrow for free. And we have all kinds of great stuff planned for the fall, like the boot camp and the how to care and feed for your whole body, every body part. And also, Dr. Mila is going to give a free vision class, how to improve your vision naturally. Heidi Plum is going to teach a class on glow from the inside out, how to make your outer appearance better by virtue of how you feed yourself and take care of your skin, and all kinds of great things planned for members. So it's not too late to join, and you can take part in all of these great activities too. All right, that's all for today. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think would enjoy learning from me, and I'll be back to you on Thursday with more news. Thanks so much for watching.